Dr. Christine Harradine at the STEMIE Center at the FPG Child Development Institute, UNC Chapel Hill, now presents Scoping Out the Research on STEM for Young Children with Disabilities.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Christine Harradine, and I'm a Technical Assistant Specialist at STEMIE. I want to share what we have learned about what work is going on in the field on STEM learning opportunities for young children with disabilities. One of the first tasks we did when we started our work at STEMIE was to take a look at what kind of research evidence exists in STEM learning for young children with disabilities. In order to do this, we conducted an extensive systematic review of the research called a scoping review to see what we could find. We searched the universe for articles, stories, activities, and reports on STEM learning and children the age birth to age 5. We really wanted to know what references talked about young children with disabilities. We allowed our search to cover STEM learning in all early care arrangements, that is, in homes, childcare, preschool, Head Start, etc., for all children with and without disabilities, age birth to 5 years. We wanted to be sure that we captured all work being done in inclusive settings. That's why we looked at all work being done with little guys, whether they had disabilities named or not. This was a big task. We searched 102 different sources, such as databases, direct searches of journals, government and foundation reports, conference proceedings, master's theses, presentation transcripts, films, and doctoral dissertations. We searched each of these sources with a set of 20 different search terms. And this massive search yielded just over 1,400 unique references. The exact number is 1,407, if you were curious. Then we had 2-person research teams independently review each of the references by reading the abstracts and the content based on age of children and the topics. We did this to come to an agreement about what materials fit our big question. Our big question is, what evidence-based work is being done with babies, toddlers, and preschoolers and STEM? We ended up with 486 unique references that did answer our big question. We went on to categorize what we found in several ways. Here's what we discovered. Most references came from journals, 88.5%. The vast majority of references that we found related to children of preschool age. And this means either labeling children as preschool students or as 3 or 4-year-old children. Very few discussed infants, only 1.9%, and even fewer, only 1% of toddlers. Just 6%, and that's 29 actual references that we found, referred to children with disabilities. A few of them were specifically named, and those included autism, emotional disabilities, intellectual delays, speech and or language disabilities, blindness or low vision, and multiple disabilities. As far as content areas discussed, more than half, 52.3%, were science, 20% dealt with math. 13.8% used the concept of STEM, meaning that several content areas were brought together in a purposeful and problem-solving way. Around 3% focused on engineering, and another 3% stated that 2 or more domains were considered together. Many of these included engineering and science or science and technology. Speaking more about technology, about 7.8% named technology as the focus. And interestingly, the use of technology was divided into 3 camps. The first, with more than a half, used technology as a tool for learning some other content. So an example of this would be to use a computer-based learning program in order to teach phonics or some sort of word recognition activity. 29.1% used technology in the way that STEMIE sees technology, and that is using robotics or coding or computational thinking in order to solve problems and create new things. Hopefully you'll be able to engage with some more technology sessions in STEMIEFest if this is interesting to you. Finally, about a fifth, 18.8%, define technology as an assistive device of one type or another. Roughly 1/3 of the unique references that we studied, or 34%, described activities or lesson plans. Most of these, almost 90%, were science related. So that was where the bulk of those were happening. Sadly, only 1.2% were special education specific. So in summary, there is a growing body of knowledge on STEM for preschool age children. However, there is very little on STEM for babies or toddlers, or STEM for any age children with disabilities. Engineering and technology have room for more exploration and thinking. We hope that you will join us in scoping out new ways forward. Thank you for joining me and enjoy the rest of your STEMIEFest adventure.